Hey guys, I am dehydrating today. Today I'm dehydrating frozen hash browns. Okay, this is a great big old 4-pound bag. Okay, what I'm going to do is they dry up and they make for hash browns for breakfast. I have a limited amount of freezer space. This is what they look like dehydrated. Okay, they are wonderful. It's so easy. Just throw however many you think you want in a bowl, and usually it makes about twice what you put in there. So, you know, if you pick up a pinch and it doesn't look like twice that would make a meal, just put a little bit more in there. Take a little bit out, however you want to do it, and put some hot water over them. And within like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes, very, very, very short amount of time. What I do is if I'm going to have bacon or sausage, I will put my hash browns in a bowl, put the hot water in them, then cook the bacon. Okay, then drain the excess water off the hash browns, and then cook the hash browns. They don't take any time at all to rehydrate. Okay, I've been using these now since I did my first 4-pound bag. I've been using these quite a bit because they're tasty. They're good. And the only thing you got to do is just put them on the tray. You don't have to treat them. You don't have to blanch them. You don't have to do anything. You just take handfuls of them and you put them on your tray. Okay. They don't have to be spread way out. Okay. I wouldn't, you know, pack them up that thick, but they don't have to be spread way out, an individual piece not touching or nothing like that. Just kind of sprinkle them all over. You know, here I'll show you a picture of one I already did. Okay. I haven't dehydrated it yet. All I've done is just put the hash browns on there. I don't have enough of those clean screens to go on every tray. So what I do is I alternate them so that anything that falls through from the tray above will land on a tray that does have the clean screen so that it catches it. Okay, because you know, this is quite a bit, so I want to make sure that I have, oh, there's not one. I want to make sure that I have all my trays full. It's always best to do full trays. Okay, if you can't do full trays, then put the empty ones on the bottom. Well, depending on your unit. My unit comes up from the bottom, so I would put mine on the bottom. Okay, to raise them up off the heat just a little bit. Okay, put that on there. I'm not going to be able to get all 4 pounds this one setting. Okay, I mean, I'll get most of them, but that's okay, because tomorrow I'm probably going to do the blueberries, and those take about 24 hours to do, by the way, frozen blueberries. Now if you're going to do fresh blueberries, you'll want to freeze them first, and there's a reason for that. The reason for that is that if you don't freeze them first, you'll have to poke every blueberry a little bit so that the stuff will dehydrate out of them, the liquid, the moisture. Because freezing, I guess, cracks the skin just a little bit so that it will do that. Okay, so I usually put just a little bit more on the top layer, because this is the layer I'll be transferring to the bottom. Now what I do with mine is I rotate the trays every so often. Okay, I'll take the top tray and put it on the bottom. I only do that maybe once, because the bottom ones dry out a lot faster than the top ones. So what I'll do is I'll put the bottom tray up on the top, or the bottom 2 trays, and because since every other tray doesn't have a clean screen, then I'll try to do it that way. Every two trays, that is. And you put the lid on it. Now remember, these have got to be at 135 degrees. Okay. I bought my off of Amazon. Had I known what I know now, I would have got the Nesco, because it recommended that these fruit roll-up trays be used with it. The people frequently bought together thing. No, see the difference in size? Look how much bigger this one is. Okay, it won't fit in the tray. This is the one that came with it. This is the one that Nesco sells. and they are way different in sizes. I would have to cut this one down with a pair of shears, which I may do, but at that point I can't use it for like anything liquidy. I can only put things, very small things on it, so that they don't fall through the grates on the trays, which is probably what I'll end up doing. And I'm not going to return those to Amazon because it's just too much of a hassle to return them. Okay? But anyway, these will go till late tonight. Turn it on. It's at 135 degrees. Okay, I wanted one with a dial. And there's a reason why I wanted one with a dial rather than to have one that was more electronic. And the reason being is EMPs. Okay? Things that are more manual have a better chance of surviving an EMP, including a dehydrator. Now, does that mean I have a way to power it? No. But if I had a generator, I could power it if I really wanted to. Or an inverter and a solar array, I could power it. In that situation, you probably want to build your own dehydrator trays, and you'll set them out in the sun. Okay? Window screen works really good. The metal window screen, you can tack them on a little 1x2 frame, or you can even find old wooden framed window screens. They're getting harder to find though, because they're pretty much all gone now, but you could do that. And then just net it in where bugs can't get to your stuff. Set it out in the sun. Okay, like make a window screen enclosure even, and then make some screen trays and just slide them in. Okay, there's a lot of ways you can do to dehydrate food for a long-term SHTF situation. This stuff here, I'm just putting it in a Ziploc bagging. We're actually using this quite a bit. Both my son and myself both like it. Now, if you wanted to buy pre-dehydrated hash browns, Hungry Jack makes them, and they sell them at Walmart. It's in like a little pint milk carton looking thing. It was over by the instant potatoes. Okay, but they're a lot more expensive. So if I dehydrate my own, it's way cheaper, a lot cheaper, because it's like $2 to $3 for that thing. Give me a second, I'll show it to you. Okay. Now this is what I'm talking about. You can buy these already pre-dehydrated, and this is just dehydrated hash browns. That's all it is. In a nice little container. You can throw them in your pack if you want. I'm going to use these because these are way expensive. Okay, considering what you're getting. Now, for camping, these are great. If you're just going to go camping, yeah, go ahead and take one of these with you. You don't have to rehydrate the whole thing at once. You can take however much out of here you want and rehydrate them piecemeal, just like I do with the baggie. These are, I think, between $2 and $3. Don't quote me on the price. I can't quite remember. I have a couple of them, and that's what, since I like hash browns, that's what prompted me to buy the frozen ones and dehydrate them myself. Now, if you go to Waffle House or someplace like that, that's what they use, dehydrated hash browns. It's not something that they grind fresh and then cook up for you at the restaurants. All the restaurants use dehydrated hash browns. Okay? Well, I say all. The vast majority of. Let's be, because maybe there is some restaurants out there that actually grate the potatoes, but I doubt it. Anyway, more expensive, less expensive. I'll come back and I'll switch the trays around in about 6 hours. I'll take the bottom 2 trays and transfer them to the top and turn it back on. Okay, and that way everything gets a chance to be in the warmer area, and they will dehydrate more evenly that way. And this right here is great to take with you, because this right here was filled to about here, and that was 4 pounds of hash browns. Okay, undehydrated hash browns. And it weighed nothing. Okay, if you could take 8 or 12 pounds of hash browns with you on a bug out, and it wouldn't fill this up completely. Okay, that's a lot of potatoes. That's a lot of side dishes. That's a lot of food. Okay, and the thing with bugging out, if you're going to put something in your pack, you don't want it super heavy. Okay, you don't want it to weigh a ton, because you have to tote that on your back. So if it weighs a ton, then you know it's going to make things a lot harder for you. And I've discovered that my bug out bag is too heavy. Okay, oh, I haven't weighed it. I'll get to that. I have a new bag coming, and I'm going to load it all up, and I'm going to check it out, and then I'm see how heavy it really is going to be. But you know, I don't want heavy stuff. This is cabbage. This is a whole head of cabbage right here. I could crush this up. It's dry enough. I could crush it up into smaller pieces, and I may do that if I decide I want to put it in my bug out bag. But I can use this for soups, stews. I can do anything with it. I can rehydrate it and add it to an omelet if that's what I wanted. If I wanted a cabbage omelet, which doesn't really sound real good, but you never know. I like the taste of cabbage. It stinks when it cooks, but it tastes so good. This is leeks. Okay, you know, you buy leeks at the store, and there's 2 or 3 in a bundle. When you make leek soup, you might use one of them, right? And it's like $3 for a bundle. And I like potato leek soup. Okay, so what I did is I took the other 2 leeks and I cut them up. Now I have enough to make 2 more batches, big batches of soup, without having to spend $6. So this thing saves you a lot of money. You guys, if you're prepping and you're trying to get into food preservation, canning, anything, dehydrating, vacuum sealing, any of that, it's going to save you money in the long run. Because first of all, you can buy things on sale and preserve them. Second of all, you can buy them in bulk and get them cheaper and preserve them. It's going to stretch your food dollar a lot. So anyway, this will go, and then when it's all said and done, I'll put it in here with these others. I don't know, I might make a separate baggie and then use this up first. But that way I'll have hash browns for the next month or 2. Okay, I plan on the 1st, I'm going to get another bag of the hash browns, and I'm going to dehydrate those as well. I want to have at least 8 pounds of dehydrated hash browns on hand in my food kits, whether it be for here or for bug out. I want to have quite a bit of dehydrated food because it weighs next to nothing, and it's nutritious. It doesn't have any extra salt or preservatives or anything. This, cabbage is a cabbage. It might have, I washed it good. It might have had some pesticides on it from the grower, but washing it hopefully will take some of that off, if not all of it. But it's still canned cabbage from, if you wanted to buy some canned pickled cabbage, they're going to have all kinds of stuff inside there. They're going to add a lot of salt. They're going to add a lot of this and that, preservatives, and this is actually healthier for you. So if you are thinking about getting healthier, you might want to consider preserving your own food. That way you don't have to worry about big companies putting stuff in there that you can't pronounce. Okay, what's in my potatoes? Potatoes. Okay. Let me look at the bag on this, make sure I'm not talking outside of my face. Okay, it's got potatoes, and then it's got something to promote color retention called dihydrogen pyrophosphate, and then dextrose. Okay, that's got a little bit of a chemical in it. Nothing I can do about it. Now, if I wanted to grate my own potatoes, I'd still have to parboil them or something. And I'm sure that's what it's like putting fruit fresh on your fruit before you dehydrate it. Okay, to make it look nicer. That's the only thing that was for. But anyway, y'all have a good one. Hit the thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and check out my links down below. And y'all come back and see me.